First of all, I'm a big fan of yours. You have a unique voice. You have an interesting history in this business. Before we get into the frustrations of the industry itself, tell me how you got started, and with that unique voice of yours, what got you involved in the business?
Well, I mean, it goes way back to the early 40s.
All right.
I met a lady in Cleveland. Her name was Caledonia. That was her show name.
Okay.
And Estelle Young was her legal name. She lived in Norfolk, Virginia. And she had a lot of connections in the South. Mm-hmm. And she took myself and several other youngsters with her and did a tour all through the South. And that's how I actually got into the business.
What was the genre of music at that time? Was it jazz?
Well, it was jazz. Mm-hmm. Most of my work was jazz, yeah, it was on the jazz side.
Okay. So, where are you born and raised? Where are you from originally?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Is that right?
And Tad Dameron, before he passed, he lived there. I imagine his family is still there, because they were one of the older dominant families in Cleveland. And he was well educated in music, sent to the best schools,
What was your training? What was your training academically? Or were you a natural, just a gifted artist that acquired your skills?
A gifted artist. My mother was really the important factor in my career.
In what ways?
Because she started us, all of us in my family, and she had 10 children, and she started us to singing together. Mm-hmm. And we'd sing in church.
Okay.
And all.
Where are you in that lineup of 10?
Where am I?
Yes, what number, what, in the middle or the bottom or the top?
Well, no, I'm the third oldest.
Okay.
Of the family. Yeah, I had a sister and a brother older than myself, and I'm the third oldest.
Okay. I know we don't have a lot of time. I want to jump to some important stuff now. If you were to give some advice to young people getting in the industry today, can you just kind of capsulize your history in this business? We talked about some of the frustrations with regard to you had a hit. I remember you had the single hit. Then you went into obscurity for a few years.
Yeah.
And your wife was just telling me about some of the copyright infringement and all of this. Speak on it for a minute for me.
Well, I mean, everybody was after all of the like record companies here in the United States. They were after the artists that were new and the ones that they could use. Basically, it was all about the money, if with them, of course. Right. But I wasn't treated fairly in that segment of things. Yes, they got music and like that, but in the meantime, let's go back to where we were, because following that, after I traveled the South with Estelle Young, came back home and worked Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. And Lionel Hampton came to town in Milwaukee, and they came and visited the show that I was on. And then he had me come to the theater where he was at and do a number. The number he had me do was Why Was I Born? And I did that. And later, I'd say a couple of years later, I got a call from his wife to join the band.
Interesting.
So I went with that band from 49 to 53.
Toward the United States and the world?
Around the world, you know,
okay.
different places. Of course, Lionel was like that. And he always picked up the younger fellas, musicians,
Sure.
and gave them an opportunity to get known. And
By exposing them through his band.
That's right.
Right. Let me ask you about the Savoy years. I'm jumping around, but I want to get a lot of stuff on tape. The Savoy years.
Well, that was rough because they came up with nothing. They paid nothing for the material that they got.
How could that happen? I don't understand.
Well, Levinsky was a hard and nasty.
Go ahead, say it.
Nasty man. And
That's a European Jewish name, isn't it?
Levinsky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tended to have dominance over the industry at that time. Like
yes.
Lions of Blue Note.
Right. Well, I mean, it was just a clique, and it was all about the money.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were something they could use to get the money, that's what they used. I wasn't the only person that got used by them.
No.
They mistreated a very great singer. Her name was Maybelle Smith.
Okay.
Maybelle Smith was out of sight, man.
Really?
And the same clique that I'm speaking of, Levinsky and his affiliates,
Okay.
they mistreated her.
I think this is an important point in history in terms of our music, black people,
Exactly.
but it's a double-edged sword.
But
It would not have been distributed were it not for those Jewish entrepreneurs on the one hand, but at the same time, the compensation
A
wasn't
lot of
there.
people would not have been
That's
known,
right.
just like that young lady.
Benny Goodman put the integrated band together, but he was playing
Right.
our music,
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
did you ever
he
play
was.
with Benny? Or?
No, I never worked with him. Lionel did.
Yes, he did. That's one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And Teddy Wilson, right? Did he not? Yeah. But that's the sad part about it to me, And so when I learned of your music, I mean, my folks had it, of course, but as I'm in Japan, I saw this Savoy catalog being acquired by a Japanese company, and we saw some of the digital remastering of your tunes, and I said, man, this is something the world needs to know about it. And then I saw a documentary on you by ABC.
Then they got away with it, and I've tried several times to recoup, because naturally you do these things, but you want to make a living out of it too.
As you well should, right? It's your
Now,
art.
and you deserve it.
You deserve
But-
it. Your creation.
With crooks like that, we don't get it.
Well, we need some kind of representation so it can't
Right.
go on, man. That's my
Right?
thing.
You gotta have some strong legal representation.
Yes, indeed.
They don't back off.
Yeah, I understand.
They don't back off. That's why today,
No, this is not Aaron.
my wife, I just
You want me to get it?
come out of the hands of those people
I understand.
and freed myself of their affiliating with them.
Right. Well, you're a living legend, my friend, and I'm just so honored to be able to sit with you for
Hey,
5 minutes and
likewise,
talk to you,
baby.
my friend. And
Likewise.
give a message to your Japanese fans. I want to take this back and put it on our website.
Oh, I love them, and I want to go back and work there as soon as I can.
Well, let me see if we can introduce this to the Blue Note or somebody and see if I can represent in some way.
There's some promoter. I want to get acquainted with some of the promoters there.
All right.
so that
Let me
I
assist in some
can
way.
go there.
Anyway I can, yeah. I will help you.
And it will be good.
Okay, let's talk now about some of the cats that you work with. Now I'm gonna name some names. Billie Holiday, talk to me.
Well, Billy was like,
Blizzard stuff in the mail.
for me, she was kin, a distant kin.
Really?
Yes, because
You don't want to grocery?
my second wife,
Mm-hmm.
her cousin, Louis McKay,
When I start drinking.
was her cousin.
Okay.
And he married Billy. So that's why I say we were distant kin.
Okay.
But my admiration for that woman, she went through hell.
Okay.
You see?
You all were kind of contemporaries in the 40s and 50s. Did you work closely with her? at any
No,
point?
we never worked together.
All right. All
We
right.
never worked together.
Who were some of the cats that you worked
But
with that you could
she
speak?
came and stayed with my in-laws. And my in-laws being kin. Okay, baby. My in-laws being kin. Who was that, baby?
TK.
That was TK? Okay.
Your
My
in-laws
in-laws being kin
helped get the connection.
to Louis McKay, you know, that's how Billy and I had close affiliations,
All right.
you know, and she'd come to Cleveland and work at the clubs that were going then. And of course, I'd visit with her.
Okay. Final question. Let me ask you about your influences over the years of those who came before you. You got a unique sound. You have a unique phrasing. I can't see anybody but you in there. But there must have been somebody along the line that you admired or idolized. Who would that have been?
Paul Robeson was one
Really?
of the. I'd call him my mentor, you know, in that sense, because he was such a storyteller.
Okay.
A story so perfect in song, and his dramatics expressed all of it. That's where I learned. And I tell youngsters who are trying to learn what that song is about. You know, when you go to picking songs that you want to sing, times are not like they used to. It used to be you could go to the 5 and 10 cent store and they had a book of songs, the lyrics.
Sheet music with the
And
lyrics.
you could
Yeah.
buy that book, and if you listen to the radio, you'd hear those songs played by Benny Goodman,
Duke or whomever.
and his band,
Mhm.
and later Erskine Hawkins and different ones who played, and I would listen to those things. I valued them because that's where I learned to understand what the meaning of the lyrics were. So many kids will just grab a song and sing it, but do you know what that song means?
Right.
You know, they don't even know what the song means.
So they can't control the expression
No.
of it. They have nothing to
No,
base
and they
it on.
don't understand, and for that reason, they lose out. You know.
All right. I see my time's over. Okay, one last message. Give a greeting to your Japanese fans, my friend.
Hey, baby, I hope to see y'all soon.
All right. All right. Jimmy Scott, y'all. Thank you very much. tape,
have a copy of
man.
it.
You will do. I will
Yeah,
definitely solve, man, to make
yeah,
sure. I'll
baby.
put it on it. I can burn this to a DVD for you tonight. if I
Maybe
want
we
to.
can work something out. Yeah.
I'm here to do that.
know?
My pleasure, man.
Bring one over to the club tomorrow.
Well, I will. I'm here
Okay.
till Sunday.
Thank you.
I'll try to burn it to a DVD for you.
Great.
I got the computer. Put me
We'll
down.
put you on the guest list.
Put me on the guest list, please.
All right.
And I may have me plus one.
All right.
All right. And make me a copy.
We'll get a copy
And I'll
for you.
burn this to a DVD tonight.
Thank
for
you.
Unedited, or I may put a little title on it, some cool
All right.
packaging.
I sure
Thank you, my brother.
appreciate that.
Man, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
All right.
Did you get me?
I got you, bro.
Introduce yourself. Well, I got this.
You didn't
brother.
think you thought it was on a tripod, right?
Yeah, well, you saw me. Say hi to the people in Japan, man.
Hello, everybody in
Introduce
Japan.
yourself.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Who's
Come
your
on,
name?
come on, get up in here.
Hey, come on, man. Say something to the people. I wish you could have said the
Konnichiwa.
MD here.
Hope to see y'all soon.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
Let's see y'all in the Blue Note sometime soon, man.
Yes.
All right.
Let's
Introduce
go.
yourself for the folks.
Aaron Graves.
On piano.
Master
Piano.
piano.
Master pianist.
My name's Hilliard Green.
All right, Hillary.
Bass.
Master bassist.
Joan. The
Joan
infamous
Floor.
Joan Floor.
Fan.
All right, fan and family and all of that. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. I'm gonna burn this down for you tonight, and you'll have it,
How
man.
come we got one more here?
Who are you?
Here. This is
Hi.
Julie's friend.
Introduce yourself.
Mary from Maine.
Mary from Maine. All right now. All right. And I'm your pal Mal, uptight behind the mic, moving and grooving, jiving and diving, stumbling and fumbling my way through this video showgram program with the legendary little Jimmy Scott.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We got to do it like that. You know what I'm saying? All right, baby. Thank you, man. Love you, man. You're legendary, man. Straight ahead. See you in Japan.
Yeah.
I'll be back tomorrow night, hopefully.